All right, so Valentine's Day. Hearts, flowers, chocolates.
And maybe a little bit of anxiety depending on how things are going.
Yeah, for real. So tell me, when you think about February 14th, is it like pure excitement?
Or does it feel like maybe a marketing ploy to get you to spend some cash?
Right. That's what we're diving into today, right?
Yeah, today we're going deep on how Valentine's Day went from, like, handwritten love notes and poems
Oh, so romantic.
to a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Multi-billion. Whoa, okay, I'm listening.
It's a pretty wild story. You've got ancient Roman rituals, early Christian legends,
Really?
and then the Victorians with their whole romantic gesture thing.
They love their romance.
Oh, yeah. But then the 20th century comes along.
Oh.
Mass production changes everything. Valentine's Day becomes
The monster we know and maybe love.
yeah, pretty much.
So wait a minute, are you saying those little Valentine's cards kids trade at school are part of like...
A capitalist scheme,
Well, yeah.
and maybe not a scheme, but it's definitely a market, a huge e-market. In the U.S. alone,
Let me guess. A lot of money.
over $20 billion are spent every year for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Roses, chocolates, dinners, trips, jewelry, it all adds up.
No wonder some people get stressed out. It's like so much pressure to prove your love.
Right. It's like there's this unspoken rule.
Yeah.
If you really care, you got to spend a ton of money.
Prove your love with your wallet. Ugh.
And that's where this whole perfect gift thing comes in. The
Mhm.
marketing is always pushing this idea,
That you can buy love.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the more you spend, the more you love someone.
That's so messed up. And stressful.
Totally. Especially if you don't have a ton of money to throw around.
It's like forget heartfelt gestures. Just swipe your credit card.
Yeah, it's a really tempting message, but it takes away from what the holiday is really about. Valentine's Day should be about connection, you know?
Sharing moments,
Hmm.
thoughtful stuff. Not like who can buy the biggest diamond.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I was reading that even something as simple as a rose gets hit by the Valentine's Day price hike.
Oh, absolutely. Like the price can triple. Easy.
Triple. That's insane.
Supply and demand, right? It's a Valentine's Day. Everyone wants roses. There's only so many to go around, so florists can...
Jack up the prices.
Yep. They know people will pay a premium. It's crazy how this symbol of love just becomes...
Another thing to buy.
Exactly.
So if we're constantly bombarded with these messages about spending and fancy gifts, can we even, like, reclaim Valentine's Day?
I think so, yeah. I think the first step is remembering Valentine's Day doesn't have to be
What the ads tell us it should be.
right. It's about celebrating love on your own terms.
Okay, I like that. But how do we actually do that? How do we ditch the commercial stuff and make it more real?
So imagine this. Instead of fighting for a reservation in some fancy restaurant,
Or waiting in line at the jewelry store?
you go for something more personal. What about a handwritten letter?
Oh,
Telling someone how you feel, you could cook them dinner,
that's nice.
or just spend time with them, no distractions, just like connecting.
That's what it's all about, right? Making your loved one feel special, seen.
Exactly. It's not about the transactions, the gifts. It's about those acts of care and affection.
Love in action.
And you know, this whole buying love pressure, it isn't just Valentine's Day.
Oh, tell me about it.
Mother's Day, Christmas, even birthdays now.
Mm.
It's all become about...
How much you spend.
Exactly. It's like we've been trained to think the bigger the gift.
The more you care.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't spend enough, well, then you're obviously not doing it right.
It's such a trap. All that pressure to find the perfect thing.
Did you spend enough? Did they get something better? Oof. It's just a recipe for...
Stress and anxiety.
Totally. We forget about those little things, the simple gestures, the things that actually...
Matter.
That's fine.
It's like we're letting Hallmark write our feelings for us and then just...
Wrapping them up in a box with a bow on top.
It's kind of ironic, right? We can talk to anyone, anywhere, instantly.
But actually expressing love, showing it, we struggle with that.
Big time. So how do we break free? How do we get back to those genuine expressions of love? Not just on Valentine's Day, but like all the time.
It starts with being aware, you know? We got to recognize that this commercialism is all around us.
And that it's okay to say no to it.
Exactly. And then we make choices that match our values, our loved ones' values.
Instead of getting caught up in the hype.
Right. Think about what would really make them feel loved, seen,
Maybe is a letter, a home-cooked meal.
or just being there, really present with them.
Yeah, just time. It doesn't have to cost anything.
Exactly. It's about shifting the focus from stuff to experiences to connection.
Like that saying, it's the thought that counts.
It really is. Those small gestures can mean so much more than any fancy gift.
Think about it. What do you remember more? A generic card or a time when someone really went out of their way for you?
Those personal touches, the ones that say, I see you.
Those are the ones that stick with you. And it's not just romantic love either.
Right. It's friends, family, anyone important to us.
We can show them we care without following some script from a store.
It's about making that effort to connect,
Yeah.
on a real level, not just the surface stuff.
All this talk about connection makes me wonder, can we even put a price on love?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. It's like we live in this world where everything has a price tag.
But love is different.
Right. It's like this paradox. We're told to buy things to prove our love, but we know deep down that
Love can't be bought.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. We're trying to measure something that's immeasurable, like fitting this huge, messy emotion into a tiny box with a dollar sign on it.
It just doesn't work.
It doesn't.
So how do we figure this out? How do we live in a world where love is constantly being commodified?
But also knowing it's priceless.
Yeah, how do we do both?
I think it comes down to recognizing that true value, that love exists outside of all the buying and selling.
It's something we build with our actions.
Exactly. It's about those expressions of care, those little moments of affection.
It's not the price tag, it's the intention behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And realizing that love itself is a gift. It's something that makes our lives richer in a way that
Nothing you can buy ever could.
absolutely.
It's about valuing those connections, those relationships, and expressing our love authentically no matter what.
The marketing tells us.
Yeah, forget the marketing. So we've talked a lot about love and all this buying and selling stuff.
Yeah, kind of heavy for a holiday about hearts and flowers, huh?
It is, but it really makes you think, about what we value, how we show love.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is like this little example of a bigger problem.
It's like, do we want real connection or do we just want to buy a bunch of stuff?
Right. And we get to choose.
Yeah.
We don't have to get sucked into all that. We can celebrate however we want.
And that's powerful, knowing we have that choice.
It is. And taking back Valentine's Day or any holiday, really it all starts with just realizing.
That we don't have to follow the rules.
Yeah. And that those real moments, those gestures of love, those are so much more important than
Anything you can buy in a store. Because at the end of the day, it's about those feelings, right? Feeling loved, appreciated.
Absolutely. And you can't buy that. That's priceless.
It really is. So, as we wrap up here, let's all make a promise to ourselves
Ooh, I like this. A promise.
to ignore those ads trying to get us to buy,
Yes.
and instead just focus on what really matters to us and the people we love.
It doesn't matter if it's a letter, a meal, just spending time together.
Let's make this Valentine's Day about real connection.
The real love.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone. We hope this got you thinking about
What really matters.
and maybe even feeling a little more grateful for those real connections in our lives.
It's easy to forget sometimes in this world of stuff. So much stuff.
So much stuff. Anyway, until next time, remember,
Love is a gift.
and it's a gift we give to each other, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day.
Beautifully said.
Thanks for listening.